Here's a fun project that you could do with your kid. Let's make your own maze using some of the Fusion basics and a 3D printer. Hey Frankie, what part of this project did you think was fun?
Well, I'd say the funnest bit was to paint it and use the, what's it called?
3D printer?
No, the air dryer.
Yeah, the air dryer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you do most of the work just to have a surface to paint upon. So here's the maze that Frankie and I made, and we started with a big rectangle, and the rectangle was as big as we were allowed to go. What would happen if you made a maze that was too big and then you tried to launch it in the 3D printer?
Because then it would stop printing and it would say, error, this is too big.
That's right. So we started with a rectangle. Let's do that. And then we changed to the line tool, and we drew a line that represented the path through the maze. Why were we just drawing a line instead of worrying about the thickness of the path right away?
Well, if you hit that offset and you just click on a line and then you pull it the way you click on the line and pull it the way you want it so you can make a path.
I totally agree. It's a bit simpler to draw the line first and then worry about the thickness later. And the offset tool is a great way to do that. Okay, after we've made our path have some thickness, what do we do next, Frankie?
Next, you go to the line tool again. And because if you see, when you hit offset and did that, you don't have any ends to your dead ends. So you just click on the line tool and click on one end and drag it.
That's right, and then click again and you'll make your dead ends. After that, we noticed that there were some dangly lines in here, so we used the trim tool and we clicked on each dangly line to trim the lines away. And here there was a line that blocked the passage that we didn't want blocked, and so we clicked the trim tool on that one. And when we were all done, we clicked Finish Sketch. And then it was pretty easy to use the extrude tool, the E key on the keyboard or this extrude button. And then we just click on one profile and another and extrude them up. And Frankie, how high did we extrude them up?
0.25.
That's right, 0.25 inches, a quarter of an inch. Hey Frankie, what's the problem with this maze right now?
It doesn't have any flooring.
That's right, it's got no floor. And so the last thing we're going to do is click on those two profiles again. We had to turn the sketch back on to make it visible so that we could click on the third thing, which was the path itself. And we're going to extrude those three things down a little bit just to give it some flooring. And the next thing we're going to do is export this maze, and Frankie's going to tell you how.
First you go File, 3D Print, and then click on your maze.
And sometimes Fusion likes to check this box here that says Send to 3D Print Utility. We want to do that, Frankie?
No way.
That's right, make sure it's unchecked. Then just give it a name and make sure that its type is STL. Then you just drag it into Bamboo Studio or whatever 3D print slicer you use. And if you want to come do this at the Makerspace in Middlebury, then we use Bamboo Studio and some Bamboo X1 carbons for our printing. And we've got tutorials on how to use those. I highly recommend, after you click Slice Plate, drag this slider up and down and check out the simulation of the printing process. Frankie, what do you see here when you watch the simulation?
Well, I see it grow because when you pull that plus thingy up, no, just don't put the bottom up. Pull the bottom up. Just pull that green one. It just grows. It'll show you. It'll grow bigger, and that's how it's gonna make the maze. One layer at a time.
Thanks for watching our video. We had a lot of fun doing this, and I hope you give it a try with one of your kids.
So do not, if you have tiny balls, do not lose them because they're hard to get. Because I had 3, but now I only have 1 because I lost 2 of them. This is what ours looked like when we were done. I painted on it, and that's my cat Teton. He is really into squeaky balls.